Okay, Bill West with Laketime Houseboats again. We're now at the rear deck, and that's the most important part of the houseboat because it's the operation part that keeps it moving up lake, getting back from the lake, and running the generator. You'll look in the engine compartment here. On one side, it has a 350 MPI motor, the exact same 350 MPI motor, absolutely brand new, 0 hours. Has new batteries. We use two sets of batteries, one for 12 volt and one for house power. So you always have enough power back here. You can't see it, but underneath there's a 200-gallon fuel tank, 190 or so. And then there's another 200-gallon fuel tank around 190. Engine, all your spare fluids are down there. We have a fire buoy system on the wall in the corner there that it's halon based, and if there's a fire or high heat in the engine compartment, that will blast off and put everything out, especially when the engine compartment lids are closed. You can see this is the latest version of Westerbeke generator. Generators are probably the most maintenance intensive devices we have. A lot of times we have to run up lake, help the owners with the generators. What has helped us tremendously is now the load on this generator is way less than half of what it used to be. Why? Because we use the Victron solar system and inverter system that takes care of 90% of what the owners need. For the air conditioner or the winch, or if it's so cloudy the batteries won't charge, the generator would take over. And you as owners may say, well, what happens if we have a problem on the lake? We have a number of work boats. They all go around 50 to 60 miles an hour. The National Park Service allows us to go up lake. And we won't go up lake for just anything because it's quite expensive. But for things that are really necessary for your trip, we send a mechanic up lake. We don't send them late in the afternoon, but you have inverter power to get through the night. We usually send them out at 6 a.m. so they're there to help you out first thing in the morning. If we do have to make a lake run, we ask you to text us any other needs you might have, and we'll bring those up the lake as well. So that's how we take care of it. Our maintenance is unique in this industry. We do a complete mechanics check every single time the boat is used. It has about 70 items on it, and a mechanic goes through the whole thing. The other thing is you're required to make a list of every item. If there's a clip holding up a curtain and it's broken, we expect you to write that down so we could fix everything on the boat before the next owner comes. So the owners that come early in the season when everything's taken care of, they have a wonderful trip. But now the owners in September, October have a wonderful trip as well, because you, the owners, dictate to us by making this list, and then we use that list to correct all of those items. So that's the back deck. We have an air conditioner. We have a more efficient air conditioning system now, so it doesn't put nearly the load on the generator that used to. You'll see on a 65-foot boat, we have a very thick tow rope. This can tow an airplane if you had to, but they float and they last forever, and it's approximately 75 to 100 feet long. It's blue, but it floats. That means if you slow down, you're not going to get the rope in the prop on a rope that sinks. You can see how we anchored the back of the boat too. We were able to anchor in this location off the rocks. So we tie off permanently our anchor lines. They're 100 feet long. So you just take them out and you could tie them to anything you want. And we have the same trash can on the back. And then over here gives you another 200 gallons of fuel. So you have 600 gallons of fuel, and you have a fuel pump here, and you have another fuel pump under this hatch. Under this hatch, you can divert fuel from any tank in the engine compartment. You have to be cautious though, because you have to save enough fuel to get yourself home. But you can use up to 600 gallons of fuel. Don't do that, because we'll have to bring gas to you. But you can use most of the gas if you stay in close on your jet skis and power boats. And speaking of gas, we provide non-ethanol, both regular and premium, and we also have diesel in our yard. Now, when you look at the cost of fuel at Aramark or Bullfrog or any of those places, it's we could save you up to $2 a gallon. So you could just imagine that. It's between $1.50, $2 a gallon that you save. And if you use 600 gallons on your trip, you just saved $1,200, and you had better fuel, and you had premium in the tanks where you want it. That's something that no other company can provide, and none of the marinas provide it. On the back deck, I'll point out this is, you understand what these are, boat hooks. And then we have safety devices. We have a throw ring there. We have a fishing rod holder over here that's convenient to use. And nice lighting. That's the back deck. And then you have